You may have heard so many true crime stories, but have you heard one as sinister as the story of Omaima Nelson? Omaima came from Egypt and she lived in America. She was in her early 20s when she was out looking for different men who could provide for her. At the age of 23, she met Bill Nelson, or William Nelson, who was 56 years old, a former pilot. After meeting up for a few weeks, they decided to get married and move into his home in California. Less than a year into the marriage, on Thanksgiving Day in 1991, to try some sort of bondage, Omaima tied Bill to the bed with handcuffs, and then she beat him up, beat his head, took some scissors and stabbed him many times with it. Omaima did this until she killed Bill. It's what she did next that is worse. Omaima decapitated Bill's head and boiled it and put it in the fridge. Then she cut off his hands and deep fried them to take off his fingerprints. Bill was 6'4", very tall and a very big build. So she chopped him up. It took her 12 hours to finish chopping him up. When she got too tired because Bill was too big and it was hard for her to dispose of him, she went to a former boyfriend and asked them to help her dispose of him. Omaima offered him $75,000. She claimed that Bill had raped her earlier and beat her up. That's why she did what she did. The former boyfriend agreed and said he would come over to help her dispose of Bill. Omaima went back and waited for the man, not knowing that the former boyfriend just called the police immediately. When the police came, they found Omaima in a car full of black bin bags, and in those bin bags were some of the remains of Bill. Inside Omaima's house, the police found Bill's torso. He had been skinned. Some of his remains had been mixed with leftover turkey. His lungs were in a black bin bag. The police did not recover 80 pounds of Bill's body. But whilst in custody, Omaima told a psychologist that she had actually cooked some of Bill's ribs and used her favorite sauce and ate him. She later recanted that story. Omaima was sentenced to life in prison. In 2006 and 2011, she applied for parole and asked to be released. This was of course denied, and Omaima is still in prison for the murder of her husband, Bill Nelson. While in prison, she got married to a man outside. He was 75 years old. He died and left her a fortune.